square feet in the universe. You know why? Because you guys are here. So am I. Barely. Man, almost didn't quite make it into town.
Really early.
James, I completely forgot. I'm sorry to interrupt. I forgot that there's a special presentation from the 501. I got so excited you were here. A special presentation for you from the 501st. Oh, Star Wars. In recognition of your contribution to the Star Wars saga and thanks to over 5,000 members worldwide, we'd like to make you an honorary member of the 501st. George Lucas loves you guys, bro. I don't know the guy, but I've heard from a guy that told me, that George loves you. That's really awesome, dude. Thank you very much for that. I don't mind at all. That's what I do. You're blind, you can't.
Imagine. That's hilarious. I need to borrow.
Sorry.
Hey, that's much better. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man, that's the real work of the world. 501st helps people who need help, which is probably more than the actual clothes that we should be getting. It's the truth, man. You scared me, though. You did scare me for like a little bit. Okay, let's get to it. You guys paid for some answers, man. You guys, you can ask me anything that you want, but I won't necessarily answer. So seriously, anybody, we got a mic. I think I got to see a mic right there. If you guys want to come up there, be a rock star, put your lips on the mic. The beautiful mic. I taught my son that. I played with my son in Santa Monica. And like the sound guy was on heroin. He was like, yeah, I'll be right there, man. All right, and we show up at 6 o'clock, like 2 hours later. 2 hours later, we're like, we have microphone, please? We sound checked 15 minutes before they let the crowd in, and my son didn't get no sound check, nothing. And I go to his band, he's got his band, and I'm like, okay guys, this is rock and roll. You just roll with it, just roll, and keep on rolling until you get down the hill, man. And they did. They did. They were like 14 years old. They're like, yeah, okay, right. Beautiful. Okay. Love you. You are brave. You're the first one.
So, my question is, what has been the most terrifying moment in your life?
That's a really good question. I mean, like the moment that should have been terrifying, like if I wasn't a fool, or the moment that I actually felt fear.
I was thinking the moment you actually felt fear, but I'm curious.
Because that's my problem. Is don't feel fear. Like when other intelligent people feel this feeling of fear, like don't put your hand on the stove. I don't feel that thing. So, like when my son was born, I gotta say, man, like I've had people come up and knife me. I've had people put a bottle in my face. Stuff's happened to me that just. But my son being born, that was a moment of true terror. Seriously, that's they say that a man's cognitive abilities transform when he sees his first child. His ability to think ahead, to plan, to moderate his own emotion, all of these cognitive abilities, they just kind of gear up when he sees visually his first child. I think the same is probably true for women, but they didn't test that. But I experienced, it's got to be. But I experienced this thing with this voice inside my head. I'm watching my little baby son, Sullivan, get wiped off with blood still on his body from the birth, and this voice comes into my head and goes, "Go to Los Angeles, whore yourself out, do anything you need to do, be Alf's sidekick, make money. This little beautiful boy did not decide to be poor. You are sleeping in the back of your theater on rags, and you're happy, but he's not." So that's why I came down to LA. But that was the moment. That was the one true terror. And that's why I'm in front of you guys now. I have long answers. I'm sorry.
I have a two-parter, both about Shakespeare. What's your favorite Shakespearean play, and what's your dream role in any Shakespearean play? I guess.
I have to be honest, and you guys have heard this. It's Macbeth. It's a play that was almost never done correctly. Every time you see Macbeth, it sucks. Mostly because they play Lady Macbeth as a witch with beef, right? And the thing is the whole point of the play is lost if you make that mistake. Lady Macbeth is not a castrating bitch. She's not. She's a criminal. She's like Joe Pesci. Right? And seriously, if Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci with I used to jack cars, right? If you got the Jimmy in the door and you're underneath the street light, and then De Niro goes, I don't know, man, I don't feel so good about this. I'm having my second thoughts. You know what Pesci would say? What are you, a man or a mouse? Get in there, do the Jimmy, you little girly boy. And that's all she does. She just calls him girly boy, just like Pesci would do. She's about to commit the murder, right then. And he goes, I don't think so. And you can tell that because every time she tries to emasculate him, he goes, what? You're not a man. Look, if you're arguing about what it is to become a woman, I'd listen to you. But you've never had a day in your life that you've been a man, so... Right? And she tries it again. He's like, shut up! Tries it again. Shut up. And then finally she goes, okay, this is how we'll get away with it. We'll blame the guards. And he goes, oh, you're beautiful. So, if you don't make that mistake, that play rocks. That play will hold the audience like glue. But if you make that mistake, they'll flush you. And if Lady M is a bad person, then Macbeth is a fool for sticking with her, and we're just waiting for him to die.
I'm glad you said that, because Lady Macbeth is my favorite.
Right on! M rocks. And in history, she actually rocked really hard. Yeah. It's a Holling shed, if you want to read the history. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to sit down because I'm lazy.
Hi, James. As fans, we spend a lot of time going over the minutia of Buffy and talking to each other about, well, when they put the chip in Spike's head, how did that work if he's a vampire?
With Buffy, the minutia is worth it, actually.
So, are you that kind of fan? Are you also a fan of Buffy, or are you just an actor?
I am just anything. Force of nature. Which is a very annoying thing to take a plane ride with.
I'd like to try it.
You can find another TV show. I was a fan. You know, I say in line all the time, this is one of my favorite things, you'll probably hear me say this in line when you come for an autograph. If you give me a compliment on my acting, I'm going to turn around and tell you that the acting was good enough, but the writing was great. It was, seriously, the best writing on television since The Honeymooners. I didn't write it, so I could brag. I didn't direct it. I stood on tape, and I did what I was told to do, so I could be a fan too. And I was waiting, except I got my tape on Monday night. So my day was Monday night. So I would hold on for Monday night, and I would put my tape in, and I would watch. I'd get all close to the TV and watch.
Thank you.
Hey James, I'm Matt. I'm a screenwriting student at Emerson, and it's actually beautiful. This is a beautiful segue, actually. And as an actor, when you're reading new scripts and when you're reading new writers or whatever, and looking for a new project, and P.S. I wrote a pilot based a character on you. Got a copy. What do you
by, bro? I read voraciously, so
I'd love to give it to you. What do you look for in a pilot in a new character in a recurring role or whatever?
That's a really good question. I'm looking for forward momentum. A story can really be about anything, but there has to be a new piece of information, an interesting thing has to happen every few seconds. If you look at like a really great film, like I was watching The Third Man, and in that they're coming so fast you have to watch it again, you know. But there has to be a new information, interesting information that the audience goes, wow, that's interesting, you know. Every second and a half, 5 seconds, something like that.
In Third Man.
Yeah, in a script. And if you do that consistently and you don't fail in that, then you have what I call propulsion. You get this sense that there's a train going and it's going to hit an object and you're on that train and there's nothing you can do, kind of this inevitable sense. And one of my favorite scripts, Runaway Train. Great movie with John Voight and Eric Roberts. Yeah, fabulous film. But it has that sense of propulsion, not only because they're on a runway, literally on a runway train that's going to smack into an object, but because the screenwriter realizes that that's his metaphor and that's a good story, right? Yeah, so not only do you have all the wonderful visuals, every few seconds those two characters find out something new about each other, and it propulses, you know, it goes forward. So it's not really a question of whether it's a period piece or whether my character's cool or not cool or whatever. It's just, is this thing chubby? Can I feel, is it carrying me along? Is it a page turner? Basically.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. God, I talk a lot. I'm gonna go for brevity. Okay, here we go, brevity.
Brevity?
F brevity.
So what was it like working on Torchwood versus working on Buffy?
What was it like working on Torchwood?
John Barrowman. In the galaxy. I don't care how many planets we discover and how many new species we come up with. John Barrowman is going to be the most interesting of them all. I really can't say enough about John. I love that guy. I blew a stunt in the first episode in the fight scene. I think the stunt guys got in it for like 2 shots because John and I both do fights, right? And I blew the stunt going through the glass, and I'm bleeding out through my costume on my thigh, right? And I duct taped my thigh together for the next day's shoot, but I didn't want anyone to know that I blew the stunt. Because if you blow the stunt, they don't give you no other stunts, right? And the duct tape didn't work, and he's bleeding through the duct tape. John comes over and goes, "You blew the stunt, didn't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I totally did. I'm trying. I'm duck walking today, man." And he goes, "Go to your trailer. I'll get you help." I go to my trailer, a surgeon, his personal surgeon comes, stitches me up, anesthetizes everything, then the costume department comes in, gives me new jeans, throws the old ones away, and I get back on set, and the producer, unless he's listening to this talk back, still doesn't know. That's John Barrowman. He's an awesome leader, fabulous. I really can't say enough about what kind of leader he is, and what kind of, you know, he's the lead, and so he calls the shots on that set a bit. And so it's a very well-run, happy set. And if things get too, if people start taking each other too seriously, he'll just drop his trousers. And then everyone goes, "Whoa!" Seriously, he's a mutant. You cannot take yourself too seriously when someone drops their pants. It's like, well, we're playing now. See, Buffy was called Buffy the Weekend Slayer because we shot 12 to 20 hours every day. So this is me on Buffy. It was an exercise in being tired. Knowing that we were doing something fabulous, but being too tired to really enjoy it. I depressed a fan.